Slicing its way through the heart of Africa, the Congo River is one of the world's mightiest waterways. Wrapped in an aura of myth and legend, it has, for centuries, carried people and goods through some of the continent's most inaccessible rainforest. It also carries disease. In June last year, a cholera outbreak in the Northern Democratic Republic of Congo spread down and across the river into the neighboring Republic of Congo. The river makes for a porous border. Fishermen and traders from both sides hop from one country to the other, while crisscrossing the islands in between. Ile Bamu, a large island upriver from both capital cities, has 13 villages. When cholera hit, people here had no idea what it was or where it came from.
Tel que mon neveu, quand il a commencé à faire la diarrhée, on a remarqué vraiment, il était devenu comme une escalette. Demi-journée, c'est le mot.
After losing their son, Dimitri's sister and her family boarded up their house and abandoned the island. The path is overgrown now. Inside, their belongings are coated with dust. Dimitri mourns his nephew and understands the parents' pain. He almost lost his own son, Stuart, to cholera just a few days later.
C'était commencé à 3 heures du matin. Le matin, vers 8 heures, quand j'ai regardé mon fils, non. Il avait perdu le poids, venu aussi comme une escalette. Je dis non, il faut que je parte à Brazzaville.
Stuart was lucky. After 6 days in hospital, he recovered and now plays football with his friends. Ile Bamu has no running water and very few latrines. It's the perfect place for cholera to survive and thrive. When the outbreak hit Brazzaville, squatter settlements with poor sanitation, like this one at Siema Bridge, were the worst hit. Latrines here feed directly into the same stream in which children play and people bathe.
Il y a une précarité des conditions d'hygiène, un mauvais assainissement, une insuffisance d'approvisionnement en eau potable et le choléra étant une maladie de mauvaise hygiène, une maladie de faible niveau d'assainissement, une maladie de faible taux de desserte en eau, une maladie, comme on dit, la maladie des mains sales.
In all, the Republic of Congo recorded 785 cases of cholera and 32 deaths, although the real numbers may be higher. In response to the outbreak, UNICEF and WHO, through the United Nations Central Emergency Response Fund, launched a series of initiatives throughout the affected areas to treat, combat, and prevent cholera. Here on Ile Bamu, chlorination points have been set up and workers trained to purify water from the Congo River that households use for drinking, cooking, and bathing. Latrines have been built and continue to be built in public spaces like markets and schools, and a social mobilization program has been put in place to teach villagers the importance of hygiene and clean water, while children at school learn about washing their hands with soap and using the new latrines.
The Central Emergency Response Fund has been very vital in bringing quickly assistance to the areas that were affected by cholera. For example, these islands here in the river and in between the two countries, because there is no electricity, there is no clean water, they have no health center. It's a population that needs a lot of our assistance and we often forget about them.
But despite the interventions throughout the affected areas in the Republic of Congo, the threat from across the river remains. So the Central Emergency Response Fund has also committed $9 million to the cholera response in the DRC. The next rainy season is fast approaching, and with it, the potential for new outbreaks of waterborne diseases like cholera on both sides of the Congo River and the islands in between. But with better access to clean water, latrines, and most importantly knowledge of hygiene and sanitation, communities in both countries have a much better chance of protecting themselves and their families.